I'm inside this fucking tape right here. Hello. That kind of mood I'm in today. I could really go medieval on someone. Woo! Raspberry. Perfect little shelter. For some reason they got tape. And some food, coffee, fruit, usual stuff. We got our marijuana. Hi, there's a bunny over there. Probably wondering what I'm doing here. Take my breath away. Hey. I have, the thing about police is that none of them are real police. It's like Christ was the last Christian. No one can really be a police officer. It's a belief system. No one can ever really be a police officer. No one's ever been a police officer. But more than that, they're all incompetent. And they're trained to be. Hi. There's a bunny staring. Nice day, hey? Hi. Oh, it's raining. I walked through the river for a bit in my bare feet, and I walked through the ocean because the tide's up. And then I'm going to walk back along the ocean in a second. There's women that they'll start conversations or they'll start an acquaintance with me, but they have no intention of being honest or sincere on any level. And to be fair, I don't think like a lot of women really know how to be in the world any more than anyone does. It's nice to get out of the rain for a little while. Kind of baffles the wind here too, but baffle the wind. Baffle the wind. Baffle the wind. Baffle the wind. Raven again. It's amazing, like the category of what I found people are capable of doing or have time to do when they're working and making a good salary. And I do get kind of a joy out of like when women want to get to know me, and they never will, because they're degenerate. I just don't want to get to know them that much. Not that they're not nice people sometimes, because they can't control themselves. And they haven't developed their mind. I met women who are going into engineering, or engineers, for instance, whose minds aren't really properly developed. Because there's nothing really for developing the mind. You can become a scientist, a doctor, you can become a mathematician, a chess player, it doesn't matter. So it's chilly. But my body's good, bowel movement's great. A lot of the certain issues are kind of past a bit more, but yeah, there's a lot of off-color people, women in your life. I meet them every year. They're everywhere. And a lot of these women just have undeveloped minds. I need some protein. I don't know what else to say. It's just, if you want to enjoy creation, you have to develop your mind. It doesn't matter what you do, just develop your mind. How's it going?
Good.
I don't think there's anything really wrong with it, so. Yeah.
No, it's fine.
Oh, did you find something? Oh,
Yeah,
good.
a scavenger hunt.
Oh, good. Love man. That's good. Yummy in my tummy. Yeah, several women in the estuary spent a year and a half stalking me. These are retired middle-class people. This includes angry stares, full of enough hatred to affect my bowel movements, to give me headaches, and serious abdominal pain. Listen, and as a man, you just take it. There's nothing you can do. You can't charge them with anything because they're not touching you. Your life is short, man. Nothing for me. People, they think that that's who they're really into. It's amazing. Take my breath away. It's the winter. You have to start to get used to getting cold. What are the chances of me coming here and they're having a treasure hunt and there's a little ring sitting on there? It's a good thing I didn't see it. I probably would have picked it up. Yeah, I've had a lot of weird experiences with people. Because I'm just quiet, right? I had a white woman come up to me talking about quiet, and she wouldn't shut up. But I know I pissed her off. White women are so easy to piss off. They're so easy to upset. Me too. Anyway. It's a good place to make a video even though it's cold. It's interesting that we're led to this man sitting here. It's like, oh, hello. Yeah, so over my life, it's not really worthwhile for me to be acquainted with a female. I don't presume to know exactly why that is. I have my own ideas, but it's really not a very good idea. It's not useful for me to know women. It's not useful for me to know them. It doesn't accrue anything good to me. To be acquainted with them, do business with them is fine, but to be acquainted with them at all is, ugh. They're a different species. I've had strange conversations with women. Well, let's get going. I can't stay here too long because we had some good food there because of the cold. Take my breath away. Hey, yeah. Pretty much packed up. I don't know, I'm feeling kind of elated. You know? Kind of elated. I gotta get walking, but is it still raining though? We'll do some recording, I guess. get moving again. Let's go. We'll go down this trail. Ooh, it's gonna be a cool day. Keep walking. Ooh, this is pretty dry. Check this area out. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, good to know. It's not always luxurious walking around behind outhouses in the middle of nowhere. I know a male sociopath who lives in his car, and it's a study in sociopathy. People think sociopathy is like, oh, this person's this awful person. It's like, well, there are awful parts to their mind. And it's actually nothing, it's just trauma and projection. So he'll project his father issues onto me, but it's so evident the more I've known him. And he'll do it almost every time I talk to him. And then he'll just start talking about his dad. And then he'll start talking about himself. And then he'll have some kind of advice, for the world, which is often quite sound, I find. About who you really are as a person. Not unlike myself in some respects. It's like it's a little scary. He lives in his car, and he spins his wheels a lot. But he's working on a pretty interesting book. He doesn't care that I've written books. He doesn't think I've accomplished anything because his father made him feel like he was a nothing. And so and we're talking about sociopathy here, not just project this sense of I'm nothing onto their friend, lover, victim, which, they become like this hyphen victim, lover hyphen victim, passenger hyphen victim, random person, man, woman hyphen victim. And what they're doing is they're projecting their own victimization onto someone else. And it helps. So we all probably do that a little bit. If I talk about women and things like that, well, obviously I'm hurt. I can't control anyone's behavior. But the fact remains, and that's why I talk about it this way, that I have been approached by a wide range of very disturbing females throughout my life. And if I ever had anyone's interest to listen to me, because you might think who are you talking to? To whom are you speaking? I could ask you the same question, but it's well, the difficulty, of course, is precisely that, right? And I'm actually doing quite a huge effort in making this video, in imagining in such a world as I think I'm fairly well appraised of, that anyone would even be interested in hearing the details about these dozens and dozens and dozens of negative experiences of females as a man. And, most guys aren't going to talk about these things, but it happens to everyone. Women are quite aggressive. There are certain kind of women, they're such sociopaths. You can be utterly polite to them. Well, same thing with this guy. But they'll always be upset with you. Always get upset. Because they can't get what they want from me. Of course, think about all the pleasant, wonderful women I pass every day. I have no idea who you are. Sure, there's a lot of products. It's not okay. Let me try this. Can you look that up? Women who feel genuinely victimized in their world find objectionable reasons to victimize men. And men don't complain. And the women, for the most part, are surrounded by women who don't even talk to them about it. They never even say, hey, you shouldn't do that. Obvious things. And so they live their whole lives, and nobody tells them. And at some point, some male victim's going to tell them, or I told them, and they get pissed. It's like, hey, you're not supposed to do that. Twice. Heads will roll. Right. So, that threatens me with not going Women not only do all these aggressive acts, but they inspire, as men are trained to be inspired by women, to commit aggression of their own in the name of women. So how much aggression in the world at the end of the day is done in the name of women? That if you neutralized everything that women do to cause violence, how much violence would go away? How many people wouldn't even be in prison? Isn't that amazing to think about? Yeah, that would be peace in the world. And then women could say, well, you have to not have oppressed us as the male toxic force of the earth. And I'm 50 years old, and I stretch out in nature. And today I was stretching, and I saw the face of Odin, or the face of Satan in the trees, as I do from time to time. A beautiful man energy. And I've interviewed so many women in my life, and I asked them about what they think about male energy, and they never ever seem to think that their babies have any labor when they come into this world. These women who can just quote unquote get pregnant, and skips over a lot of details about the opening and closing of one's legs at a particular time of the month, which apparently is a total mystery to women as to how babies are made. And at a certain level, the great mystery really is just complete ignorance, right? And of their uterus and how sperm lives in there and stuff. And so the outside her vagina, all this kaleidoscopic world is going on for this incredible moment where she gets a guy to stick his dick in her. And then it's like, success. So, and then all kinds of awful things happen because she's not thinking about what she's doing. But no one talks about that. No one talks about like women have a choice in whether they open their legs or not. It's like all women are being raped all the time. They don't need to know anything about their vagina. But you'll interview these women and you'll find out that they don't think that men have any place on earth. They're just xenophobic, right? They don't think that masculine energy, right, energy. So maybe they're right. Masculine energy should be. But unfortunately, that refers to men. You might want to clean up your mouth, ladies. So they don't think that men belong on the earth. Get this, because, quote, it's such a man's world already. So there are women who look over these meadows. Millions and millions of young girls will grow up and never think that there's anything manly about this. They'll never think there's anything noble about this environment, right? There's nothing in it for them that's manly. Look at this. These fences that were probably put together by men. Right? And so, just like climate change,